Hello and welcome to the first in a new build series. I haven't built a quadcopter in quite a while, and this one is the one I'm doing for kind of my coming into winter project. My soldering iron is itchy to make a quadcopter, and this time I'm going to be building this little thing here. Now hopefully the camera is picking that up. Come on camera, try and get the focus right. Looks normal size, right? Well, actually it's not really, because if you compare it to its bigger brother, you'll see that this little thing is an awful lot smaller. Now this is the Chameleon TI. This is one of the Armatan models. Lots of people have tried to copy this, not using titanium for the front cage. This is a titanium front cage. In fact, I did an entire video series where I built this thing together. This is the one that I built and I absolutely love it. Armatan frames are not cheap, but they are covered by a lifetime warranty. If you break anything and it's the fault of the frame or the design, then you know what? You get another part. But both of my Armatan models that I have are 5-inch models. This new model that we're looking at, or I'm going to be building in this series, is this little thing. It's a 3-inch thing called the Gecko. Now this still has a titanium cage at the front, 3mm carbon fibre, metal struts at the back, and goes together like a Swiss watch. But it isn't cheap, just like the other frames from Armatan. But again, it's covered by the lifetime warranty. Now, I've decided that I'm going to make kind of the ultimate Gecko here. So the parts that I've ordered are the top drawer parts. So the frame itself is about $70 odd. And with all the parts that I'm going to put in it, it's going to run me about $316. So this is going to be an ultimate 3-inch screamer with the motors and everything that's going to be on here. So in this video, what I'm going to do is just kind of introduce you to the frame. It's brand new. It's only just come out. It's one that I've been aware of that's been coming for a couple of months, and I've been desperate to get my hands on it to build one of these things. So let me go through the parts that I'm going to use, go through the specs of the frame and the other pieces as well, and then we can get into the meat of the series in the next video, and we can actually start making this little guy out and showing you how it all works. So a couple of things about the frame itself. As I just mentioned, the cage at the front is titanium again. The two sides are titanium and the little brackets in the middle are aluminium. It's designed for 90mm micro cameras. I'm going to be using the Runcam split inside this thing, because the other thing you'll notice is there's two mounting sections, one for the flight controller at the back and another one at the front that's going to be handy to mount the Runcam split into as well. So no need for an external GoPro or anything like that. Everything can be contained internally, and we can use the Fab Runcam split to record everything in HD. The tailpiece is a little bit interesting too. It's a rubber mount for the micro antenna that you can order if you're going to get one of these things as well. I'll show you that in a minute. That's a really cute idea. Just keeps everything up out of the way of the props, and with it being rubber, it means that it can flex in the event of a crash too. Weight of the frame itself is about 42 grams. Motor to motor spacing is 139mm. It's actually a compressed X, so it's 112mm left and right, 82mm from front to back. Main plate thickness, as I've already said, is 3mm. Front stack is M2 20x20 for the HD cam board. The rear stack is those M3 bolts that all the bits and pieces are supplied. I'll show you how this goes together in a second. The full stack height is 22mm. The motor size I'm going to be using on this are 1407 3650 kV motors, 25 amp ESCs, and 3-inch props. Ideally, I'm going to need a 650 to 850 4S battery to get this thing running nicely. So let me just show you all these different parts that I've got together. I do like it when I get an order like this. It's like Christmas undoing all the bits and pieces. First thing is the 25 amp 4-in-1. That's going to go at the bottom of the flight stack at the rear of the model. That's going to make it pretty easy to put all the cables together. You'll notice in a minute when I get the motors out of the packet, the motor wires are really long, so that's going to be easy to route those to the rear of the craft. Speaking of the motors then, let me show you what these are. These are the Titan Umphs. These are actually Armattan branded, so let me pop one out and show you what it looks like. Got on the mounting hardware, so you've got the nut on this top with the bolts and whatnot, and then the motor itself, really pretty little thing, black with a silver top. Looks pretty bulletproof actually, nice and open at the bottom, so probably need to be careful about grit getting in there. Nice tolerances and a very, very wide thick shaft on top, so hopefully that will make it as bulletproof as the frame's going to be. Next thing to do then is open this big pack of goodies. I know there's some cool stuff in here because I can already see the TBS logo. So this is the video transmitter I'm going to be using, TBS Unify Pro 5.8 gig. So that's going to be able to run directly from the battery. It's going to make it easy. Flight controller, CL Racing F4 Mini. Pop this out of here. You can also see in the bag there's all of the vibration isolating mounts. We'll use those just to make sure we have the nicest possible experience with it. And then opening it up, there it is. Actually, in both of my other Armattan models, I do have the full-size version of the CL Racing F4S, and it works fantastically well. This is the first time I've used the Mini, but hopefully that will fit beautifully at the back above the ESCs, so that's going to be a handy thing. More stuff in the bag. We have my receiver, an RXSR for my FrSky bits and pieces. Probably going to stick this, with it being such a small model, onto my X-Lite radio. That makes it super portable because this is something that's going to be carried around with me all winter. And then this is the cool little micro circular polarized antenna. I'm fascinated to see how well this actually performs because it's much smaller than a lot of other antennas that I've seen. I'm guessing it was originally designed to come in this bag, but a big shout out to Armattan for actually taking it out of the bag and putting it into a little box here for transport to make sure that the antenna isn't damaged. But that's going to be routed through the back of that little plastic support at the back of the model to get everything working. Last couple of things, we've got the RunCam split. So this is the one that's going to go in the front of the model, and the other mounting point inside the frame is actually designed for this thing. And then finally we're onto the main event, which is the frame that this is all going to go onto. And this is how it actually comes. You have the top part with the main frame body itself. It's a single piece frame, 3mm carbon fiber. And then you have the battery strap in here as well as the instructions. And then the bottom part has all of the additional pieces that you're going to need. So let me just show you how this thing goes together so you can get an idea of how quick and easy it is to build. The instructions only shows you 4 steps, and because the bottom is one single plate, it's pretty straightforward. First thing you do is to put the camera cage together. There's a spacer that goes between the 2 titanium side plates, and you have the 2 aluminium brackets that allow you to pop the camera, the 19mm camera that we're going to use, which is going to be the RunCam split. That's held together by just 2 screws, so that isn't particularly tricky at all. Next job then is to attach that cage to the front of the bottom plate. Tolerances are very tight here, so to keep everything rigid, so you might have to wiggle things to get them into position, but once they are, that's held in place by a couple of M3 screws. Then we've got the metal standoffs at the back that go into position using the same screw lengths as well. Now we've got those pieces in, next couple of jobs, we need to put the little dog bones underneath the arms. This is something that you tend to get on all the Armattan frames, so this is no different from the big Chameleon TI and others that I've had. And also need to put in the big long screws that are going to be the supports for the ESCs and also the flight controller, potentially even the receiver at the back as well. Once that's all together, then it's just a case of finishing the top plate. Top plate needs the rubber support for the antenna connecting, and again, that's just done with these couple of funky bolts that go into the back of the rubber piece. And then once that's done, you just get the shortest little bolts in the pack, and they go at the front and at the back into those metal supports, and then it's just a case of popping the battery pad onto the top of everything and you're all built. So the frame itself is a really beautiful start, and I can't wait to put this little thing together where I'm going to end up with some bloody great electronics in a really portable 3-inch frame. So join me in the next video where we're going to actually start building this thing. And then for those times where I'm out and about and I want to have a little blast in these winter months, I have a really cute, highly spec'd 3-inch quad to mess about with. If you found that video useful or like the content, then please hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you want to go the extra step, you can become a Patreon of the Painless 360 channel and help provide support for what I do here. All the videos created here are put into playlists, so if you're interested in a particular topic, have a look at the playlist, and they all are organised in there to make them easier to use. If you're not sure if there's a video for your particular problem or topic you want to know more about, then add Painless 360 to the Google search term that you're interested in, and that should find the video, article or content about the particular thing that you're interested in having a look at.